All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and start with our warm up. So we're just going to start with nice, easy head tilt side to side. We're going to start standing today, and then we're going to move down to a half kneeling position down on the floor. And you can do a lot of those exercises standing if you need to. And then we're going to do some exercises sitting on our buns. And then we're going to do kind of finish up down on the floor today. Shouldn't need any dumbbells. I think we'll have time to do some shoulder dislocates and band pull apart. So you may need a resistance band. Good. Bring the head up, look side to side. But we'll just kind of have to see what we have for time. Sometimes we get to that section at the end and sometimes we don't. But just nice, good side to side head turns. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center. We're going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down into our back pockets. And I have to say, personally, I feel really tight in my shoulders today. Shoulders and upper back, and just kind of that upper area where a lot of us tend to carry tension. But I've also not worked out quite as much this month, and I'm feeling it now that I'm back. Here's 2, 1. Let's take those arms out. We're going to just open and close at the chest. Nice relaxed arm movement. Each time that we close, we want to switch which hand is on top. So we open big and then right hand on top, open big, left hand on top. A lot of times we start to get into a routine and it's always right hand on top, and we need to switch it up every now and then. 2 and 1. We're going to do our tap out to the side, add a little bit of a crossbody reach. And I always say, I always feel this one. I always feel that stretch in my back. And for me, it feels really, really good. 4, 3, 2. Change the arms, keep the side tap, and now we're going to add a little bit of a reach up and overhead. It's kind of like we're washing the windows, or we're trying to flag somebody down, getting a little bit of a side bend. We're stretching out those lats. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center, shoulders down and back. Rotate your shoulders so your thumbs are pointing towards the ceiling. And we're just going to start with nice, good shoulder circles. And then let's change direction. So try to keep the hands pointing right out to the side. Elbows are straight. All movement comes from the shoulders. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring those arms down, feet about hip width apart. We're going to do our side bends, but we're trying to keep our hips pretty stationary. So before we were letting those hips kind of move out to the side a little bit, but now I want you to think, lift the ribs, drop the hips. So just a little bit more of a stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center, feet hip width apart, toes pointing forwards, and we're just going to do our hip circles. So remember, as we're doing this, good, change direction. We're doing a little bit of a body assessment. We're trying to see what's tight, what's sore, what kind of is going to start talking to you. Good, bring it in. We're going to turn our toes out to the corner. Same thing. So just a little bit of a duck foot. And then nice, good hip circles. Change direction. And let's bring it in, and we're going to do a little bit of a pigeon toe. Remember, the pigeon toe comes from the hips, not from the knees and the ankles. So a little bit of a pigeon toe. On this one, I know my right side is tight and it keeps trying to pull my foot out straighter. Good, change direction. So I really have to focus on keeping that right foot turned in and working on that stretch and mobility. Bring it in the center. We're going to bring it in, shake it out. You can hold on to something if you need to. We're going to start with our leg swings. And we just start with small movements. So belly is braced. We don't want it to be pelvic movement. I just want a nice, good swing. And it's okay if it's not very high. We're just warming up. And you should feel your joint will loosen as we go through this. 3, 2, and 1. And switching over to the other side. So we'll start, and I can feel this in my hamstrings. I'm a little tight. And as we go through this, you'll start to feel the muscles loosen up. We're getting more blood flow through there. We're getting any excess fluid moved out of that joint as well, which will help loosen it up. It's why you're usually stiffer in the morning or after you haven't been moving for a while. All that extra fluid that's usually moving around in your body just kind of accumulates in all of your joints. Good, 2, 1. Bring it in. We're going to do our side leg lift. Again, I like to have my hands on a wall or on a countertop, just somewhere that I have plenty of room for my leg to cross in front of me without kicking something. And you just add a little swing, and then you can just take it out and kind of come into the middle. I'm able to do a bigger swing across the body, so I'm going to do that. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. We're going to switch, do the same thing on the other side. So think about your hip staying pointing forward. So a lot of times we rotate the hip out to the side. I want you to try to keep your toes pointing forwards as you brush, or think you're kicking a soccer ball, or you're moving. You want to move from the inside and the outside edge of your foot. So inside edge of your foot comes across, outside edge of your foot is going out to the side. Does not have to be really big. There's 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to take those legs nice and wide. This is our side lunge. So nice wide stance, toes a little bit out towards the corners, and we're just going to go little gentle pulses to one side and then little gentle pulses to the other. So this isn't a really big bounce. We just take it over and then go a little bit deeper. So over, back off, and a little deeper. That's not comfortable for you, you can always just take it over side to side. That's okay too. Remember, you don't want to feel pain when we do this. That's usually an indicator that we need to do something a little different. Little stretch is okay, pain is not. Good, 2, and 1. Bring it in the center. We're going to hinge at our hips. Core is braced. This is our front, our middle, and a reach behind. Front, middle, reach behind. And the big thing, especially on that reach behind, is we're not rounding our spine just to get farther back. We're hinging from our hips, front, middle, and back. If you can touch the floor, great. If you can't, that's okay. You can have a target. If you've got a step bench nearby, you can always straddle that if you want something as a target. But we just want to make sure that we're getting a nice good stretch. This is hamstrings, so knees are pretty straight. Spine is nice and neutral. Forward, middle, back. One more time. Forward, middle, back. And we're going to carefully bring ourselves up. Keep the legs nice and straight. Arms out to the side. Side lunge. Torso rotation. Reach down towards the floor. You are welcome to rotate and just try to bring your shoulder towards your opposite knee. So think about that side lunge. Push the hip over, reach down and pick something up off of the floor. It's all about torso. We're opening the shoulder back behind us. Again, it's okay if you can't touch the floor. We just have our goals, right? So you can always just do a little reach for the knee, maybe the calf, work your way down. Here's 2, And 1. We're going to take it down to a plank on the floor. I'm just going to go ahead and hinge it forwards and step it back. We're going to go down dog. So nice good down dog position, and then back to a plank. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling and then come back down. When we come back to our plank, we don't want to let our hips drop towards the floor. This is really good for shoulders. We're starting to wake up our abs. Got a couple more right here. Hinge it back. Forward last time. Hinge and forward. And we're going to go ahead and walk ourselves up to a standing position. Or if you need to hang out on the floor for a minute, that's okay too. And we're going to get ready to start our workout for today. All right. The first few exercises, we're working on our lower body. Treat these like mobility therapy drills versus like strength training. Similar motion, but I really want you to focus on feeling your body. So feet about hip width apart, and we're just going to take a little step forwards. And we're going to do a deadlift with a cross body reach. So we're going to stay nice and tall. We're going to hinge, and we're going to rotate like we're setting a kettlebell down or a dumbbell down on the outside of your foot. And then we're going to stand up nice and tall again. So it's a hinge and a lift. So hinge and lift. We don't want to do like a big hip push out on one side or the other. This is a little bit of hamstrings, but we're also working, your body kind of has a crossbody sling that goes from one shoulder over towards the opposite hip. And that's part of what we're working on right now. We're also working on a little bit of hamstrings, working on core stability. And again, you don't have to get all the way to the floor. So if you get to here and all of a sudden you're rounding at your spine just to get that hand to the floor, I want you to just think about a nice good hinge and rotation. We're going to do a couple more on this side, and then we're going to switch. Let's bring it up. Step that foot back, reset, feet about hip width apart. Just take a normal step forwards. We're nice and tall. We're going to hinge, and then we're going to stand tall. You may notice that you can't get to the floor when you start, but after you do a few, you've loosened up a little bit. And I was able to get farther down on the other leg, but I'm working my way there right now. So a lot of these are about technique. And once you get technique down, I'll say technique before you start adding heavy weights. Good, we're going to do one more. Bring it up into the center, shake it out. We're going to do supported airplanes. So if you have a chair or a wall or something nearby, what you're going to do is you're going to do a single leg stand. We're going to hinge it forwards. Hands can be on the chair. We're going to take that upper hip and we're going to rotate your entire torso like you're trying to bring your hip towards the inside of your thigh. And then we're going to bring it up and we're going to try to open that hip. So now you're opening the hip and pointing it towards the front. So we're going to rotate down and then we're going to open. And what we want to try to do is we don't want to just keep our hands here and just rotate our hip. We want to try to move our entire torso. So we're bringing our shoulder and our chest all the way to our hip in towards the inner thigh. And then we're going to open the entire body. And it's okay if you don't go very far. We're keeping that standing leg nice and stationary. And if you're not able to hold on to something and you're having trouble with your balance, you can always keep that back toe on the ground. And it's going to be a little bit more challenging, but doable. Rotate and open. Good, one more time. Rotate and open. Bring it in. We're going to shake it out a little bit. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. See if I can do this with my hand on this wall. So, a little soft bend in the knee. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. We're going to rotate that hip. Inner thigh moves towards the other inner thigh, and now we're going to bring it up, and we're going to open. Try to keep that back leg lifted. So it's not an up and down, it's really an open and a close, and we're rotating our pelvis over that ball and socket joint. So we're moving the socket around the ball. We're rotating our pelvis over the head of our femur. Once you progress on this one, you can try doing this not holding on or with less support. This is really going to be a good balance challenge. I feel this one a lot more on this leg, on my outer thigh. Good, we're going to do this one more time. So rotate, and then we're going to open. We're going to bring it in, shake it out. This one, if you have a mat, it will help to put the mat underneath the heels of your feet. We're going to go a nice wide stance, reverse toe touch. So we're going to hinge it, squat it down, hinge it forward, grab your toes. If you're not able to grab your toes and drop down into a squat, have your hands on an ottoman or a footstool. But I want you to try to start to drop your buns down and then come back up again. This one's a trickier one. So we drop our buns down, and then we do a little bit of a lift. Now we don't want to push our knees forwards. I really want you to think, drop your buns towards the floor, and then lift up. If you're not able to do that here or on the floor, we squat it down. Now we just drop, and then we come back up again. Your body is stable. Your upper body is braced. This is legs. We're trying to open up those inner thighs a little bit. Try to get you going down into a deeper squat. Rest when you need to, because this is kind of a lot of squats, especially if you're not able to get all the way to the floor. I'm able to, pretty close, not bad. And then come back up. I'm going to do a couple more. Rest when you need to. So a little inner thigh stretch. Come back up, and then one more time. When you're ready, we're going to come all the way down to the floor. We're going to be in a half kneeling position. If you're not feeling like being on your knees today, you can do a lot of these exercises standing. You're just going to be in a lunge position or a warrior position, or holding onto a wall. We're going to go into half kneeling. So we're going to tuck our tail, squeeze our glute. We're going to do just a little bit of a push forward, and we should feel just a little bit of a stretch right here without arching our back and rounding our back. It's just point your tailbone towards the floor, squeeze your glute. We're going to take that same side that's back, and we're going to reach up and over, and then we're just going to come up nice and tall. So we're adding in a little bit of a side bend while we're doing our stretching. So good side bend, and then down. So lift the ribs, kind of try to drop your hips, reach, and down. Good, we're gonna do one more, and we're gonna take it up, we're gonna hold it this time. So just a nice good hold. The trick with this one is we don't wanna turn our bodies forwards or open way back behind us. It's just a nice good side bend. Lift and lift, 2, 1, bring it in. Keep that leg that's out front. And now we're going to open it out towards the corner. Now if you can, some of you may be flexible enough to take it out to the side. We want to keep our hips pointing forwards, this hip pointing forwards, and we're going to take it out and then back. And this is one that I know I find to be a little uncomfortable on this floor because I don't have a lot of cushion. And this one particular knee just really doesn't care for it. But we're going to take it out and back in. And we're going to feel it a little bit here, but we should be feeling this right in this crease on this leg. And we want to keep that tuck, keep that squeeze. We want to make sure that we're not going out and then pushing our hips back. We're trying to keep the tuck and the squeeze. Nice and tall posture. You can imagine you're holding a dumbbell or a kettlebell right in the center. If it's uncomfortable to move side to side, you can always just take it out and hold it. And our knee is tracking over our second toe. Good. Bring it in. We're going to take that leg that's out straight, or that's out to the side. We're going to straighten it up, toes pointing forwards. Try to keep your feet flat on the floor. Hands are going to come down to the floor. So we're kind of in a little bit of a tripod position. We're going to rock the hips back towards the heels, and then we're going to move forwards. So this is called an adductor rock back. We're rocking back and we're stretching out the inner thigh. For some people, just getting that leg out there and trying to hold it straight is going to be a challenge. Good, bring it in. We're going to give it a little bit of a shake out. Now we're going to do our hip cars. These are our controlled articular rotations, our hip circles. Brace your core. We're going to take the leg out to the side, rotate in, circle it around, and come back. Now we're going to go the other way. We're going to do a donkey kick, circle around, and bring it in. This is the one. It's really tempting to start to arch and round your low back just to get that leg up there higher. It's okay if your circle is really small. We got to start somewhere. We work our way around. If you're doing this standing, I like to have the leg that you're standing on, that side of your body pressed against a wall. Reason being, again, when we're trying to do our circles, we want to get really high. On the floor, you arch and round your back. When you're standing, you lean. You lean. So if you've got that side of your body against a wall, makes it really hard to lean. Good, this is our last one. Bring it in. You can do a little sit back, shake it out, child's pose. We're going to do the same exercises on the other side. So when you're ready, bring it up to a half kneeling position. And again, we're just going to tuck our tail, squeeze our glute, feet hip width apart, a little bit of a push forwards. And again, we're just going to add in that side bend, and then we're going to come up nice and tall. So imagine that the back of your arm is glued against a wall. You're trying to run your arm up and down that wall. You got to scratch. Your back is itchy. You're just going to scratch your back, move it side to side. Trying to keep that lower body nice and steady. That's kind of the hard part with this one. So we start getting to a point where we end up pushing our hip out to the side here. Try to keep it tucked under. And a good lift. A couple more. Out and up. Good. We're going to take it up and we're going to hold it here. So nice, good stretch. Lift the ribs, drop the hips. Open up this space on the side of your body. 3, 2, 1. Bring it in nice and tall. We're going to open this leg out to a corner. That's what will work for a lot of you, but if you can, we're going to open it out to the side. Again, your knees need to stay tracking over your toes. Tuck your tail. We're going to press it out and bring it back. And for some of you, your press out may be here. That's okay. If you find that your knee is going over your toes and your heel wants to lift up, just step that foot out a little bit farther, and you should be good. So core brace, tuck the tail, squeeze the glutes, shoulders down. Imagine, again, you're holding a really heavy kettlebell or dumbbell here. You got to stay nice and tall. Good, we're going to do a couple more. And do as many as you're able to and then rest. So you don't have to quite do as many as I do, but you will feel a little bit looser as the reps start to go up. Good. Now we're going to take that leg. It's going to be out straight, toes pointing forwards. I keep mine about in line with my knee. And I'm going to rock it back, and I'm going to rock it forwards. So keep the knee straight, take those legs out to the side. Good, I'm going to do a couple more. All right, let's bring it in, give it a little bit of a shake out. You can shake out those wrists. We're going to do our hip cars, so brace your core, lift to the side, rotate, foot to the ceiling, bring it around and down, and now take it up, donkey kick, circle around, and bring it in. I can tell that a lot of the exercises that we've been doing have been helping, at least me personally. I got a little bit of a click today, but this hip used to click a lot, and now it's doing a lot better. And I'm not getting that tendon or that ligament that's kind of pulling and being a little out of whack. We're going to do a couple more here. Good, one more. Let's bring it in. We're going to sit it back, hips to heels, a little bit of a shakeout. Let's bring it in. We're going to go down onto our tummies for a little bit. We're going to do our scorpions, and again, you can do this standing against a wall. You don't have to do this on the floor. We're going to do alternating side to side scorpions, so this is just nice and slow and steady. I have to go slower. It's not comfortable for my chest to go quickly. We're going to take both arms out into 90-90, and what I like to do is I take one hand, bring it by my chest, roll into the one side, return to the center, and then switch. So we just do a scorpion, alternating side to side, slow and steady. Some of you might be able to go faster. I am not able to do that. And remember, we just want to feel a stretch in the chest. We don't want to feel pain. Just a nice good side to side. We want to keep our arm glued to the floor when we roll into it, and a little bit of a head turn, like we're listening to what the floor has to say, or we're on the floor doing something and we hear somebody talking to us and we just kind of want to turn and see who's talking to us. Good, we're going to do a couple more. Roll in and roll in. Good, let's go all the way over onto our side. We're going to do our side lying open books and our rainbows. And again, you can do this where you are sideways to a wall and standing. We're going to pull our knees up in line with our belly button. Bottom hand is going to grab our thighs. Top hand, I want you to grab your ribs. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to open back behind us. Try to get the shoulder towards the floor as we keep the knees glued to the floor. Inhale, return to center. Top hand goes lightly behind your ears. Exhale, open back behind us. So we do our open book 3 different ways. Inhale, return to center. Top hand, we're going to reach it out, fingertips to the floor. Exhale, open that shoulder back behind you. Now we're going to keep that extended arm. We're going to keep doing some open books. So I want you to think about an open and a close. We're looking for something in the book. We've got a bookmark. We can't find it. We're trying to remember. where we stopped reading. Good, one more. Keep those knees glued to the floor, open back behind you. Good. Now we're going to keep that arm extended. You can rest your head on the floor if you can, but we're going to draw a rainbow up and overhead, trying to keep your fingers as close to the floor as possible, and then bring it back around. And I can absolutely tell that my upper body is very tight today. All of these are very, very tight for me. Good, and we're going to do about 3 of these. And back around. We're going to take our top leg and we're going to keep it where it is, and we're going to open that bottom leg back behind us. We're going to try to keep this knee and foot in the general vicinity of the floor. Keep this hand pulling the knee down. Top hand, I want you to reach for your back foot, that bottom foot that you've opened behind you, and I want you to open that upper torso towards the floor. So top leg is trying to come across the body to the floor. Bottom leg is opening back behind you, and your torso, you're trying to open that top shoulder and see if you can get towards the floor. I am not able to keep everything perfectly flat, but as long as you're feeling a good stretch, that's what we're going for. Release, come over onto your tummy. We're just going to do a couple of prone snow angels. You do not have to lift your upper body off of the floor. We're going to do thumbs by your hips, hands hover across the floor. Take it out to the letter T, rotate palms down, and then try to bring your thumbs together overhead. So out to the side, rotate, thumbs to hips. Out to the side, rotate, thumbs up and overhead. So out, rotate, thumbs to hips. Out, rotate, and overhead. So just a little shoulder mobility here. Good, let's do one more. Out, overhead, out, and down. And now we're going to roll over to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. You can just roll over. I'm going to turn around. But we're going to start with that open book series. So resting on your sides. Going to pull the knees about in line with your belly button. Again, bottom hand is going to grab those thighs. Top hand, I want you to grab your ribs, give yourself a hug. Take a deep breath in, exhale, pull the knees down towards the floor, and imagine you're trying to pull your ribs up and over behind you. Return to center. Top hand is going to go lightly behind your ear. Inhale, exhale, pull the knees in towards the floor. Exhale, open that chest back behind you. Like you're trying to get the shoulder to the floor, it does not have to touch. Inhale, back into the center, top arm is extended out. Exhale, full open book, trying to open the chest all the way down to your fingers. And now we're just going to do a few of those where we're going to close our book and then we're going to open our book. Go at your own pace. This is a slow and steady. Still trying to keep those knees pulled into the ground. If we're really tight in the torso, we sometimes start to open our hips just so that we can get the shoulder to the floor. We just want to try to stretch out those muscles so we keep the hips and the knees stacked. Good. Last one for me. I'm going to take it out to the front, and I'm going to draw a rainbow up and over my head, circling around, trying to keep my fingertips on the floor, and then back around. So this is thoracic spine mobility, but this is also shoulders. So it's a little bit of everything in that upper area. And you may find that one side works really well and the other side not so much. Good. Bring it back around to the front. Top leg is going to stay in position. Bottom leg, we open the entire thigh back behind you. Our top arm, we're going to reach for that foot like we're trying to do a hip flexor stretch, and then we're going to open back behind us. So my front leg, my toes are on the ground, my knee is not. My back leg, my side thigh is on the ground, but my foot is not. My top shoulder is not touching the ground. Usually I can go a little bit farther than this, but again, I am very tight today. And you'll notice that when you do your workouts, when you do your stretches, not every day is going to be identical. Good, release. We're going to bring it up, and we're going to come to a seated position. Give yourself a moment. We're going to take our legs out to the side. We're going to do a little bit of a 90-90 quick. So just 90 and 90. So hopefully our hips are feeling pretty good after doing the hip cars and all the rock backs. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to roll it over onto hands and knees. You can come to standing if you need to. We're going to do scapular push-ups here. So we're going to brace our core, keep our elbows straight. Our shoulders are down and away from our ears. And we're just going to try to pinch the shoulder blades together. And then we're going to push the floor and try to separate them. If you're struggling with this one a little bit down on the floor, you can absolutely do these with your hands against a wall. And you'll just have your hands out in front of you again, straight. Straight against a wall, like you're trying to come closer to the wall, and then you're trying to push yourself farther away. I always start when I squeeze my shoulder blades together. That's when I start to notice that I start rounding my back. And we want to try not to. Just a nice good squeeze and push. And let's do one more. All right, let's go ahead and walk it back. We're going to come up to a standing position. I'm going to grab a quick drink, and I'm going to grab a band, and we're going to do our shoulder dislocates and our band pull aparts. Apologize, I'm getting a little froggy all of a sudden. So we're going to go ahead and take our band, and if you don't have a band and you still want to do this, you're going to just come sideways against a wall, and you're going to do this against a wall. The farther away you are, the easier it is. So I do back of the hand coming up and then circle it around when you're doing this against a wall. The wider your hands are to start, the easier this will be. Shoulders down and back. We're going to bring it all the way up and around as best you can, and then we're going to kind of curl it in front so your thumbs touch. Then we bring it all the way around, take it down, and again, same thing. I want you to turn like you're trying to open and get your thumbs to point behind you. So back of the hand comes up, rotate, thumbs point together, take it back around, rotate, thumbs try to point behind you. Now, if you're not able to do these ones with the band, again, you can always do this against a wall. It's a little bit different, but you'll just stand sideways to the wall and do big shoulder circles. Because I know sometimes we're just really tight. So I always say start with the widest band you possibly can while keeping the band straight and not letting it loop in the front especially. Work your way around. Work your way around. Maybe you can't get all the way down and around. Start where you can. Work your way through. So some people might be like right here. That's as far as they can get. That's where they can stop and then move forwards. We got to start somewhere. So maybe this is a bit much. And then we just start with our shoulder circles, start working on strengthening and mobilizing that joint in other ways, and then work your way through. Good, one more time. Up and around, and then all the way back. Good, let's bring it in. A little bit of a shakeout. We're going to do our band pull aparts, 10 right, 10 left, 10 both. I do palms facing up because when we do these, a lot of times people are here. So we're going to take it down, lock in your left arm, right arm pulls right here, 10 times. There's 3, 2, 1. You can shake it out a little. I'm going to lock it in. Same thing. The trick with this is try to get as far back as you can without rotating your torso. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in, pull them both apart. Really try to reach those thumbs back. Keep those palms facing up towards the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in, set it down, shake it out. Roll the shoulders. You can give yourself a little head turn, little head tilt side to side. Take a couple deep breaths in and out. Good, and in and out. And you are all done.